Welcome back for another book talk video. I'm going to give you another tag video because I have been tagged so much lately. It's really awesome. Thank you so much, everyone, for tagging me. Today's tag is the 20 Bookish Questions. I was tagged by Margaret Pinard, who is a brilliant writer. You should check out her books, historical fiction. The original tag was by Book. I'll put the links down in the description with everything, of course. And here are 20 questions. I've seen this tag done a couple of times, but I don't really remember what all the questions are. I'm just going to answer them on the fly, even though I discovered that is quite dangerous to do. Question 1. How many books is too many books in a book series? I'm going to say, I don't know. I really enjoyed The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, even when it was a trilogy that had 4 or 5 books in it. You know, more and more books kept being added, and Douglas Adams, with his great sense of humor, just kept calling it a trilogy anyway. If you can get away with it, then I say go with it. Personally, I feel like multiple trilogies are a great idea, but at the same time, I love the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and they've got their various phases that might have 5 or 6 or 7 movies per phase as they go through it, culminating in 20 or 21 movies to tell an amazing epic story that's also told a bunch of other stories along the way. I'm not gonna complain. I'm fine. As long as we are getting resolutions along the way, then I think it continues to work out. Number 2, how do you feel about cliffhangers? In a trilogy, I like the traditional formula that the first book can stand on its own, the second book can have a cliffhanger, and the third book resolves the trilogy. If it's not a trilogy, then I suppose there's more leniency for cliffhangers. But I don't like waiting, An author will publish a book and then you have to wait a year or two, or I don't know, maybe 10 years, 15 years for the next book, depending on the author. So I would prefer not to have those kind of cliffhangers, if possible. Number 3, hardcopy or paperback. I grew up reading paperback books, but that's because I'm cheap. Really and truly, now I've started trying to collect hardbacks. So if we're talking about having a collection to put on the shelf, then I want the hardback. But if we're just talking about something that I want to read real quick and maybe go resell at the used bookstore, then paperback is fine. Number 4, favorite book. According to Goodreads, my favorite book of all time is The Three Musketeers by Alexander Dumas. See, I can provide a source for that and everything. Number 5, my least favorite book. I don't have a least favorite book. I try not to be too negative on these things. Number 6, love triangles, yes or no? I'm going to say yes. I don't have any sort of problem with love triangles, and I am perfectly fine with the traditional love triangle that everybody online says, oh, it's not really a triangle. Yeah, that's fine. Number 7, the most recent book you just couldn't finish. I've talked about it in previous videos. 1Q84 as a 3-book, what do you call that? They published 3 books together in one volume, a 3-book set. I could only read book 1, and I was like, I don't want any more of this. I just wasn't in the mood to continue that one. Number 8, a book you're currently reading. I am reading the Wheel of Time series. I'm on book 3. I feel like it's gotten better. The beginning felt really weak, but it's really improved now that I'm on book 3. Number 9, the last book you recommended to someone. The last book I recommended to someone was The Knife of Never Letting Go, which is what the film Chaos Walking is based on. Just put a video up the other day. Number 10, the oldest book you've read by publication date. I guess that's a tough one. I've read a lot of old philosophical texts, books by Aristotle and Socrates and that sort of thing. So I'll just go with The Republic. And number 11, the newest book you've read by publication date. See, now this is where I should have prepared to answer these questions. I've started getting on NetGalley, and with NetGalley, I'm able to read books before they even come out. I'm so proud to say, I was just granted permission to read Sylvia Moreno Garcia's latest book, and I was able to download that onto my Kindle, and I did look at the first couple of pages. I don't know if that would count, but Velvet is the Night. Looks like it's going to be a really great book. and it doesn't come out until August. Number 12, favorite author. This one's a tough one. I tend to say Alexander Dumas on some days. Other days, I might say Maya Angelou, even though I'm not actively reading books by either one of them. Right now, I'm spending my time reading a lot of fantasy. Within the fantasy category, I do seem to really like Patrick Rothfuss and Brandon Sanderson. Number 13, buying books or borrowing books. When I was a kid, I would go to the library and borrow a lot of books. As an adult, I still check out books from the library, just not as often. I tend to get books as ebooks or audiobooks, or if I feel like I want a nice hardback copy on the shelf, I'll get a physical book. Number 14, a book you dislike that everyone else seems to love. There was that Sarah J. Maas book that won the Goodreads 2020 Best Fantasy Book. I still, months later, do not understand. I read the book in January. I gave it a chance. I just don't understand that one. Number 15, bookmarks or dog ears. Oh my gosh. Please, folks, do not bend over the corners of your pages in your books. There's no need for that. Someday, someone else might own that book and be very upset about that. Bookmarks are awesome. You can get free bookmarks all over the place. Libraries give them away. Comic book shops give them away. You can print out and make your own bookmarks. You can buy bookmarks online if you want. All kinds of options. When I was a kid, I really did have fun creating my own bookmarks. Number 16, a book you can always reread. That would be I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou. I have revisited passages from that book so many times in my life. Number 17, can you read while hearing music? Yes, definitely. In fact, if I am reading somewhere and there's gonna be other people talking or background noise, then I very much would love to put in some headphones and put some music without words on. Classical music, some film soundtrack music, that kind of stuff. Number 18, one point of view or multiple point of views. Oh my. When I was younger, I very much preferred just one point of view, or at least for the point of view to only change from chapter to chapter. Really, very easily, obviously be marked. But as I've gotten older and more experienced as a reader, I've become more comfortable with multiple points of view. That was something that did upset me, though, about the Red Rising series. The first trilogy was very much focused on Darrow as a character and what was going on with him. And I did not know that the second trilogy was going to have all of these different points of view from different characters, from new characters. And it upset me when I read book 4 in the series. I was very upset because it would break away from the characters and part of the story that I cared about and force me to look at these other characters' lives and what they were doing. But looking back at it, Pierce Brown can do whatever he wants with his books, and I'm still going to buy them, hopefully enjoy it more upon a reread. Number 19, do you read a book in one sitting or over multiple days? Some books I am able to read just in a day or two over the weekend, especially those really short mystery novels or novellas or audiobooks. There are a lot of audiobooks that are really short, that are only a few hours long, or even if they are 9, 10, 11, 12 hours long. I actually listen to audiobooks usually at a speed of 2, so you cut that time in half. A 12-hour audiobook becomes a 6-hour audiobook, and it works out just fine. Number 20, who do you tag? I am gonna tag Book Buds. That's 2 people in 1, and I will also tag Fit to be Read. Looking forward to hearing your answers. If you've already done it, I apologize. Oh, and thanks again, Margaret Pinard. You are awesome. I appreciate that you tagged me. That's it for today's book talk. Every day is a good day for a book talk or a tag video. Peace.